What's up, son?
My girlfriend said she ain't gonna work when she get older.
She don't have to work, son. That's your job as a man. You have to provide, you have to protect, you have to pay for everything. When y'all go on dates, you have to pay the bills. So if she don't want to work, she don't have to work. She's a woman.
Mom, you must think of myself. I'm not finna be with no girl that ain't gonna take care of me the way I take care of her. She supposed to cook, clean, and work. And if she don't do that, I'm gonna break up with her.
You gonna break up with her for what? You a man.
What if something happened to the house? What if something happened to our car? And we can't pay our bills no more?
Then you need to figure it out as a man. She don't have to do that. That's on you.
Mom, I'm not finna be with no woman that's not gonna have my back during hard times.
Women used to be loyal, bruh. When? Women weren't loyal, they were limited. Let's just call it what it was. Women weren't loyal, they were just limited. They had limitations that they don't have today, which their limitations made them more loyal. Women used to be loyal, bruh. When? Women weren't loyal, they were limited. Let's just call it what it was. Women weren't loyal, they were just limited. They had limitations that they don't have today, which their limitations made them more
loud and proud. Marriage is not for men.
You will be welcome back here.
No, I'm trying to get you out my house. And look, you know I got cameras, so my camera is seeing. I'm doing too much, man.
So I'm gonna say it loud and proud. Marriage is not for men. A woman tried to hop in my DM the other day and she was upset because I put a post up saying that marriage don't benefit men.
It doesn't benefit a man whenever a woman is under false intentions. When she's intentionally using him, it's not beneficial. But if a man finds the love of his life and she's willing to sign a prenup, then it's beneficial for him because it brings peace. If she's able to do that, it's a win.
It don't benefit men. First of all, half of y'all don't even know how to be wives, or the bulk of y'all don't even know how to be wives. Y'all don't know how to cater to a man. Y'all don't know anything about being a wife. Y'all selfish as hell. And then a man decides to believe in you and make you a wife. And then as soon as y'all fall out of love, or as soon as the first issue comes up, y'all want to leave the man, because that's what y'all do, because we're not going to act like women don't initiate more divorces than men.
This is why I tell guys, never be with a woman that wants to be married, that wants to have a big wedding, that wants to have a lot of friends, that wants to live the lifestyle. Because once you check off those boxes, she doesn't have any dreams outside of that. You want to aim for women that are aiming to be happy. A woman that's aiming to be happy doesn't cost that much. Let's continue.
Because men actually take relationships and things seriously. Do you know how many men who are miserable in marriages right now, but they still having the same conversation for the millionth time with their woman because they want to make it work, because they take marriage seriously? It be y'all women who don't take nothing seriously. Y'all be ready to bounce and hop on the next dick as soon as an issue arises.
Because they're selfish. They normally only marry the beta male that's going to jump up and try to make all of her dreams come true. In the moment she gets bored.
It's just crazy wild. But we're not going to act like marriage benefit men, because y'all be angry and bitter, and as soon as a divorce is on the table, now y'all want to take the man. Y'all want to take shit that y'all didn't even work for. Y'all want to take the man for everything he got. Y'all want to take the kids from him so he can sit there and be miserable.
Because they're angry, they never married their dream dude and only married the dude to scratch off the boxes to try to impress her friends. The demeanor that women have towards marriage is the reason why guys are walking away. And if you agree, hit that like button.
It's just marriage.
They're the dumbest group in America. They're literally train crash outs. All of their ideology is backwards, and everything that they believe in is dysfunctional. These are the defenders of the dysfunction and the chaos. They encourage it. And you know that because look at Sexy Red. They allow her to sell booty hole brown and gonorrhea lip glosses. Disgusting. And then they get all these degrees to still come out broke, alone, and in debt. Not to mention they let the government convince them to destroy their children and to go against the very men that are put here to protect them. And this is why they fall for every scam that the government push. Feminism, abortion, birth control. They even fail for the scam that they're the smartest group in America. You are not the most educated. You are the most indoctrinated. Congratulations. And you talk so much about your degrees, and black men still make more money than you and raise better children than you. Amazing. And you know what? The solution is just very simple. Bow out and let black men lead.
This is the book of Psalms 82, verse 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Kol Holayim La, Al Banawa, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Bahashim, Rakak, Kodash. Double honor to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and the byways. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Salutations to you speckled birds, you Israelite foreigners. And shalom to the Akwaf, sitting and listening in silence as the scriptures say to do so. Psalms 82 verse 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Everybody, everything is completely out of order. It's not on its correct, righteous path. They don't understand, nor do they know or reverence or acknowledge Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, there's no understanding of righteousness and how to conduct yourself in a proper manner, in a proper way, to have morals, to have standards, to take heed to the guidelines and instructions of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, man. Because everybody has cleaved on to the teachings, the philosophies, the ways of Babylon the Great, the ways of the wicked, okay, who is in control and has dominion over the earth, man. Okay, now y'all saw the clips, y'all see what was brought forth, and I'm not going to go the way you think I'm going to go with this lesson. It's easy to cuss the so-called black woman out, to say this and say that. It may have me say a few things here, but this is just a reminder, for the men and for the beloved sisters that are really attempting to do everything to the best of their ability. It's a reminder for us men that this is what we have escaped, and it's a reminder for you women that this is what you have escaped. You're not amongst this corruption and polluted standards of our people, man. But again, Psalms 82 verse 5, they know not, so they don't know righteousness. They don't have any morals. They don't have godly standards. They don't walk uprightly because they cleave to the world. They took heed to the indoctrination of Esau. Neither will they understand. They're not going to understand because obviously the Lord doesn't want them. Okay? They're part of those that were born in vain. Okay? And again, as I always say, and as we always say, so like all the brothers, the elder apostles, elder bishops on down, everybody has a damn mic. Everybody has an opinion. But the true understanding, the true value that is being spoken is coming from the prophets by and from Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Okay? They walk on in darkness because if you're indulging, embracing, and loving this world, you're walking in darkness, man. You're not walking correctly. Because again, you're trying to manifest and create your own destiny. You're trying to do things according to your own wicked, deceitful mind, man. And that's what's leading a lot of our people to death, man. Okay, because Esau told you can do what you want to do. As long as you believe in JC, say you covered by the blood, pay your tithes, you're good to go. And you don't even got to do that. You can just say on your deathbed that you believe in JC and you're supposed to be accepted. Come on, man. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Everything is out of order. Again, off its course. Everything is upside down. Because as it says in Isaiah 5 verse 20, what? They call evil good and good evil, man. They take bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Okay? Period, man. Let's grab this. Salakia. Let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians. And Albanawa Ratazai, this would be a quick hit. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your minds should be corrupted. Okay, so, the so-called self-proclaimed a black woman, her mind is corrupted, contaminated, and polluted by Esau. Esau gave you all these sweet sayings, these necessities, these tools, these advantages, these privileges, okay, all the things that you need to be equipped to belittle, disconnect, and look at your man as beneath you. Okay, to have a spirit of independence, to believe that you can do it on your own, when actually that was really nonsense and bullshit. Because as you heard the sister say, well, she broke it down, thoroughly. You got the biggest debt. Men still make more money than you. Men raising kids by themselves actually raise the kids better. Okay. And again, you're the most indoctrinated by the damn devil, by the enemy, man. And our women never actually set back, and not only the so-called not only the so-called black one, but also all the tribes, because it trickles down, man. It trickles down with all the tribes. Okay. But our women never actually sat back and thought, why are we the only ones being targeted to be disrespectful, disconnect, reject the true foundation that the Lord has ordained and set up for us, but everybody else has marriages, has the white picket fence, has structure, has this, has that, but yet we're being targeted to do the opposite. Okay, Esau gave you a very, very tough pill and you swallowed it. You embraced it. Okay? And it also put you in a position to be his pet bulldog, his tag team partner. Okay? Okay, because you were beguiled by the serpent, by the promises, by the things he gave you to equip you again to be able to succeed for his agenda, his plan. Now what do you see? You see women 50, 60, 45 years old walking around the mall looking for a man. Worn and torn out. Completely what is that? Completely I can't, it's right now, it's right in my mind, man. I can't even think of the daggone word. You're a walking biohazard, man. Not able to connect and build a foundation with the man because you've had so many specimens, so many DNA, so many men's spirit on you that you have those same spirits in your flesh attempting to be the dominant specimen, the dominant DNA. You don't even know who you are. What you hear a lot of women say, they're still confused about who they are and what they want out of life. You know what that is? Because it's all the men that they've laid with that's continuously fighting to be the dominant gene. Okay, and amongst other things too, man. But that's what happened, man. You lost your hedge because you looked at Esau as your God. You looked at Esau as the man that needs to have respect and to be worshipped with reverence. Okay. Because again, women gravitate towards power. And again, our women didn't recognize the agenda, the plan. And now that you have women that are waking up to the agenda, the plan, you still have a lot of rebellious women that still want to keep this stance. Okay, so when you gravitated towards Esau and looked at Esau towards a God and rejected your man, you rejected Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You rejected the true order, which is the Heavenly Father, okay, Yahweh Shai, the Israelite man, the woman, and the children. So when you rejected the man, you rejected Yahweh Shai. So you have no covering cast. Okay, and you basically donated and gave yourself for Esau's property and not for the Israelite man's property. This is the book of Sirach. You made yourself Esau's possession and not your own nation's possession. Sirach 36, starting off at verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, and men don't want to have the women of our nation as wives, man. Because it's no sincerity, it's no seriousness, it's no foundation, it's just a bucket list. Something that you want to check off that you say you have done. Something that you can acknowledge and say, I've had that. I've experienced it. And then give your spiel on how it went and why you establish a divorce. Okay? But again, Sirach 36 verse 24, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. And again, you women submitted, gave yourself as a possession to the enemy, to the adversary, to the so-called super clean white man whose true biblical nationality is the Hebrew Edomites. Continuing on, a help like unto himself and a pillar of rest. And you again, you gave your help to the devil to help continuously demolish, destroy your nation. You were the intel for the destruction and the demise of your own nation. You became a pillar of rest for Esau and not for your own man, your own nation. And that's what the beloved Elder Apostle Hart always states and said. If we had our women, if we had comfort, a woman to embrace us, woman to, have our back and be there, then this hellhole, this nightmare wouldn't be so bad. But Esau has weaponized our women against us, which is truly a part of our punishment, because the way that we treated Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is the same way that our women treat us. Okay? Period. But again, to my beloved Akim Wa Akwaf, this lesson is not to bash women. It's a reminder of what we have escaped, what we have been blessed to be taken away from. We don't have to deal with this. We don't have to be amongst brute savages, man. Because these are people that are of our bloodline, but not of our true family, man. They'll be a part of our true family in the kingdom when they come back in their right mind. Okay, but this is part of what we have escaped. You men, you true sincere men, we're able to discern a woman, and that's why, if you deal with a woman, you can't really make none of these women really truly your wives, man. All these women are harlots, man. And you women, I don't know your story, but guess what? It ain't like this no more. The Lord has chosen to consider you, awoken you from the filth, and can chosen to cleanse you from the customs and structure of this world, man. This is a blessing on both ends for the men and the women. Okay? And again, as you saw and as you continue to see, there was a lot of facts speaking by women that are actually, acknowledging what is going on. Sirach 36 verse 25, where no hedge is, so where no man, no Israelite man is. Okay, because again, that woman is going to take heed to the order. She's going to understand her position. She's not going to try to contend and rebel and try to be above the man. Okay, she's going to understand her purpose, and she's going to she's going to submit and be in subjection to her man and understand that he's the leader. He has the last say so. And does she have a voice? Yes. She does. We don't want you women to be robots, but again, you understand your position. You're not going to rebel. You're not going to speak against your man. You're not going to speak at your man the wrong way. You're going to be in order. And we won't get all these things crisp 144% until the kingdom, when we're renewed in those new bodies and our minds are transformed, etc. Okay? He that getteth, Sirach 36 verse 25, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. Again, you chose to give yourself, and it trickled down. From Big Mama on down to now, 60 years. Big Mama gave herself to Esau. They submitted to the new structure, the government agency. All the necessities, the treats that they gave. And they passed it on down the line. They passed it on down the line, teaching the young girls to be independent. You don't need no man. Go out here and live your life. Be a hoe. Go out here and ride a cock carousel. Suck as many dicks as you want. Do this, do that. Hey man, it may sound vile and nasty, but it's the truth, man. And I've been thinking about a lot of stuff in life and a lot of stuff I went through, man. It's like, God damn, man, I'm very thankful. And you know, you got to think about that too, man. When you, all the stuff you went through, and then when you transition and the Lord considered you and woke you up to the truth, man. Hey, man, you got to realize, you got to truly realize this is a true blessing, man. Just think about what you was doing before the Lord woke you up, before you came back to your heritage, man. And I'm gonna say personally for myself, man, I was a piece of shit. You know, I'm ashamed of the stuff I've done. I'm ashamed of the stuff I went through. But at the end of the day, it was all a learning process. We had to go through those things. We had to have those experiences, man. Okay? And that's why, you know, myself, I pray and hope that Yahweh Shem Yahweh don't cast me out and put me into the world, man. There's nothing out there for us but death. And that's why we got to embrace what we have. We got to cleave on to the Heavenly Father, man. Be fearing Him. Salakia. Well, let's continue. Let me grab this. I think I got two more. I might just grab one and close it out. Yeah, I'll probably just grab this last one and close it out, because the point is made. I don't want this to be too long. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, and I'm going to read verses 33 to 34. Be not deceived, but everybody's deceived, because everybody took heed to the teachings, the philosophies, the nonsense that Esau spilled, because he delivered it so sweet. Okay, he this man Esau's a serpent is very crafty, very tactical. It has a great thought process and is able to to deliver a message to make it seem very pleasurable and delightful to the receiver, if you can understand what I'm saying. Okay, 1 Corinthians 15 verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communication corrupt good manners. And that's what this devil did. He brought in that evil, wicked, deceitful communication, which was his agenda, his plan, to the Lord's severed, which is holy, set apart people, and corrupted, polluted their minds. And that's why, as we know and as we see, the ones you go to what are the weaker vessels, because the weaker vessels are more subject to take heed and consider what you're saying as if it shall and will hold any value. Like they can succeed and prosper off of what you're telling them and feeding them. And that's what happened. This all goes back to the book of Genesis, man. Why didn't the serpent go to the man? Because again, the woman is the weaker vessel. She can easily be deceived, man. And again, the way he delivered it was delightful. It was music to her ears, man. And that's what these women have heard. They heard that music I can be above my man. I can be the breadwinner. I can be this. I can be that. You know, government jobs, PhDs. Okay, starting their own business. All these things, man. But yet, who has the highest student loan debt? Who has the highest debt in general? Women. Who are the biggest consumers? Women. Who do they market stuff to the most? Women. Okay? Period, man. Because the serpent, the damn devil, came with that corrupt communication and completely annihilated the good that you had in you, which it was all part of the Lord's plan. Verse 34, awake to righteousness. So the Lord has his prophets out here telling you what to do, to repent, transform, renew your minds, get into the word. We have the answers to your questions. Okay, we can break it down for you, but we're not going to put you in a headlock and make you do anything. You know, after one or two attempts, you know, we disconnect, we go. You know, and you know, whether it be on a social media platform, you come and ask a question, you can't get it, or whether it be on the streets, you know where we're at. Okay, that's why it's just sometimes best to just sit back and watch and take notes. You know? 1 Corinthians 15 verse 34, awake to righteousness and sin not. Because again, this world produces, advertises, and so like it, this world produces, advertises nothing but sin, man. It makes you feel like sinning is the way to go, the way to be. Okay? Awake to righteousness and sin not, for some have not the knowledge of the Most High. I speak this to your shame. So some don't have the knowledge of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. But guess what? There's no excuse now. Now you have the prophets out here on the highways and the byways. You have the prophets on all social media platforms uploading lessons, edifying, warning you, condemning, doing everything that we were called to do. But again, our people, Isaiah 30, tell us lies, tell deceits, etc. Roughly paraphrasing it. Our people don't want to get right. St. John chapter 3, verse 18 and 19. They don't want to be condemned or take accountability for their actions, man. But again, this is just a blessing to show us what we have disconnected from, what is not coming our way, what the Lord has taken us from, but we avoid. Okay? Period, man. So awake to righteousness, man. Continue to do what Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah told us to do, man. Just as easily as we were bought in this truth, it's just as easy as we can be taken out, man. So you Akim, be blessed that we ain't got to deal with the standards of this world, dealing with these women. And you beloved sisters, you Akwaf, be thankful that the Lord took you out of being a whore, a harlot, and everything else, man. Because we were all jacked up, we were all messed up. But Lord willing, I hope and I pray that this is edifying, uplifting, and informative to the true, sincere Akim Akwaf. So with that, I'm just going to say, Kol Holayim La, Abanawa Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakat Kwadash, Wathawada Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakat Kwadash, for putting the Spirit on me, my elder apostles, elder bishops, elders, brothers on down, for doing these epistles to enlighten you, to inform you, to edify you, and uplift you through the power and spirit and words of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. May the blessing and election and protection be upon you and your household. I don't want to Ratazah into the next one. So with that, I'm just going to say, Shalom.